Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am Jody Anderson-Duquette here with Workamper News. And if you're not familiar with us, we have been helping great people find great jobs in great places for over 37 years now. And one of the employers that we have been so blessed to work with for many years now is Express Employment Professionals. And they do the recruiting for a really unique experience that is the sugar beet harvest. And today we have online with us from Express, Crystal Barnett. She's prepared a presentation for you. She's going to go through and give you all the ins and outs of this really cool work camping opportunity. And then we will move into a Q&A section after that. So those of you who are live with us on the webinar, we're happy to take your questions. You can go ahead and input those at any time. If you are on a laptop or desktop computer, you should have a GoToWebinar control panel with a questions or chat section that you can type into. If you are listening on a smartphone or tablet, you should have that questions option on the bottom of your screen that you can tap on, type in your question, and then tap back to the presentation screen. Now, we are recording this webinar today, and everyone who registered, you guys will receive an email later today with a link to that recording, so that way you can go back and watch it again in case you missed something. And feel free to just click forward on that email and send that link out to any of your Workamper friends that you think may also have an interest in work camping in Michigan this fall for a really fun, cool experience. So, all right, I think that's all the housekeeping we need to take care of to get started. Crystal, thank you so much for joining us, and we're excited to learn about the Michigan Beet Harvest and what new changes have come for 2025.
Thank you, Jody, and I'll start by saying we appreciate you. We appreciate all the time and effort that your company invests into the beet harvest. You've been a great partner for many years, and we always look forward to doing these Jobinars with you, connecting with you. We like knowing that we have cheerleaders, out and about, helping us and being there for us and leading the cause of what we do. So thank you so much, greatly appreciated, and we look forward to having a successful year this year and sharing this Jobinar and getting people having people have more knowledge about the harvest.
Awesome.
All right, well, I will begin if you're good, Jody, and we will just start educating people about the Michigan beet harvest.
Take it away, Crystal. Thank you.
All right, thank you for everybody who is tuning in. Today we are going to cover quite a few topics. Again, if you have questions, please put those in the chat, and we will try to get to whatever questions we can and answer those for you. Today's topics are going to be the sugar beet harvest, of course, why we need your help. We're going to go over harvest locations, available positions, working conditions. One of the fun topics are pay, solo work campers, campgrounds, weather, hiring process, our frequently asked questions. We're going to learn more, and then we are going to open up questions for everybody that is listening today. So what is it? This is the sugar beet harvest, and each fall we welcome work campers from all over the United States to join Michigan Sugar Company in harvesting their sugar beets. As part of the amazing team, you'll have the opportunity to meet new people, work hard, and the fun part, make a difference and make money while you do it. A lot of people ask, when is this happening? So this is the harvest here in Michigan is mid-October is our start date. You can expect to work 18 to 21 days working weather permitted, and we'll get a little bit more into what that actually means. Camping fees are paid, not working in the fields, and no experience necessary. So when it's 18 to 21 working days, that's going to be when they actually are open and we're live and the trucks are coming in and we are harvesting the beets, or I guess running the grounds where they've harvested the beets. And so we're going to be very busy doing that. Camping fees are paid. That is when we, as a company, will book your campsite. We will set up the campsite for you, give you arrival letters, and take care of all of that while you're working those days. A lot of people ask, are you working in the fields? We are not working in the fields. God bless all those wonderful people that work in the fields, but that is not part of this job. And no experience necessary. So please don't feel like you have to have a resume of working in this type of environment, working in factory work, working in, around heavy machinery. I was a first time 5 years ago, no experience necessary. The fun part is people teach you and you're able to learn. So do not let that, derail you from thinking that you can't come to the harvest because you've never worked in that atmosphere. It's a fun place to learn something new. In 2024, these are some of the results and the statistics that we had. We had 81,073 truckloads of beets delivered. We had 3,105,997 tons of beets harvested. 30.96 tons per acre for an average yield of beets. 17% average sugar content from sugar beets. So those are just some fun facts of all the work and the effort that's put in behind the scenes. This is the percentage and fun facts that we had last year. Why do we need your help? Number one, we need your help because your work ethic as work campers we have found is tremendous. You guys show up, you drive there in your rigs, you drive there in your vehicles, and you make magic happen. This job could not happen without the work camper community that shows up in Michigan every fall to get the job done. The need for more people. So Michigan Sugar Company hires over 700 workers stationed in 13 sugar beet piling sites. So we have 700 people that come through, we put you in the campgrounds, we get you all settled in, and you come and make magic happen. So that is why we need your help. We could not do this. Michigan Sugar could not do this without you. And there's a picture of some of our workers having a great time learning how to pile beets. Locations. People often wonder, where in Michigan does this happen? So the beet harvest is located in the thumb of Michigan on the east side of the state. So I have this map here. If you are, taking a look at it, you can see we have 13 piling sites. Our offices are located in 3 different places. We have an office in Bay City, Sebewaing, and Sandusky. And those 3 offices hire for all of the 13 piling sites that we work for in Michigan. Piler Operator Taker. So this is one of the positions that we hire for. The piler operator maneuvers the piler control switches. So you'll see the gentleman on the left, he's up there, and that is what he is doing. He's controlling those switches. Secure sample tickets from trucks. You will perform cleanup opportunities that include sweeping, shoveling, mud, or beets. You communicate and direct drivers to ensure safe and accurate uploading of the trucks, and must be able to lift a minimum of 25 pounds. And so the piler operator taker is a busy job. It's a needed job. They're all different. You're either running the piler, or the taker is a position that you're on the ground, and that's when you're going to be performing a lot of those on ground, including sweeping and shoveling, the mud and beets activities. Special equipment operator. So this is a position that we take a questionnaire for, and we will fill out questionnaire. This is not a position that Express hires for. It's a position that Michigan will hire. They will do job orientation, and they will just take your skills, and there's special training for that. You must be able to lift a minimum of 50 pounds, must be able to sit for extended periods. You must have a driver's license, and that needs to be valid and current. Must demonstrate the ability to operate the skid steer properly. The position is selected by Michigan Sugar after training. So you will come into the office, you'll fill out your paperwork, and they will set up a time for training if you qualify to try out and train for this job, and then they will select, they meaning Michigan Sugar, will select who will perform the special equipment operators. Working conditions. We definitely are not here to sugarcoat it. This is a 9-hour shift. Some locations run up to 12-hour shifts. The 12-hour shifts are based off of the needs of Michigan Sugar. We operate 7 days a week, weather permitting, and we do not guarantee day or night shifts. These jobs require the ability to lift, pull, and push a minimum of 25 pounds. You must be able to bend, stoop, shovel, and climb around heavy equipment several times throughout your shift. You must have the ability to be on your feet regularly and use your hands, arms, and legs repeatedly on the job. This includes walking on slippery and uneven surfaces. This job also requires the ability to stand for extended periods. This job requires the ability to perform essential job tasks in less than favorable conditions at times. These may include, but are not limited to, performing strenuous work in a variety of temperatures, humidity, wind, and cold. So when we say we do not sugarcoat it, those are some of the scenarios that you can work at and will work at during the beet harvest. Pay. Everybody wants to know, okay, I'm a work camper and I want to, have my next destination taken care of, or, buy a Christmas gift, or whatever the need is. What am I going to make while I come here and I make magic happen in Michigan? This year, the starting pay is $20.65 an hour, and that is the starting pay for the piler operator and tear. That is our base salary. You can earn up to $1,400 every week. All hours are 40 hours. All hours after 40 hours are overtime. Seasonal completion bonus is given at the end, and then we have a stay pay. So I'll just talk a little bit about a couple of these topics. So earn up to $1,400 every week. When we are open and you're making the $20.65, you can earn up to the $1,400 every week. Once you work your 40 hours and you've hit those 40 hours, then you are in time and a half overtime. And seasonal completion bonus, your Workamper coordinator will go over all of the details for that, but it's just a nice ending to the season. That is usually given by the end of the year, so it would be given by December 31st of 25 this year. And that is, just a way to say thank you, and just a way to celebrate the harvest and celebrate you coming. There are all different levels of that. So when you talk to your Workamper coordinator, they go through all of that with you, explaining the different levels of the seasonal completion bonus. And stay pay. So this will be our second year rolling out stay pay with Michigan Sugar. Michigan Sugar has seen the efforts that each of you come and you bring. They've also seen that Mother Nature sometimes decides to, give us a weather that we need to stay in our RVs, stay in our hotels, and just kind of relax for a day. So Michigan Sugar wants to thank you for staying. So one of the things they have implemented is stay pay. Again, stay pay has some different qualifications that your Workamper coordinator, when you do apply and go over that, will explain all of that to you. It's just a fun way that you can make a little extra money if we are closed, and it's just a way to basically make up for the day that we weren't able to get in there and work and perform our duties for the day. Solo work campers. So a lot of people ask us, I just travel by myself, and, do I have to have somebody with me to work the Michigan Beet Harvest? So no, we do expect, and understand that a lot of people are out there doing this journey and on this adventure, and they are solo work campers, and we celebrate that. Michigan does have a policy that you can come as a solo worker. We will put you in a campground. We will, send you out on the site to make that magic happen, to make the money that you need to make. One of the stipulations that Michigan Sugar does have is the fact that we do have housing that we place people in, but you need to have worked a year before. So you have to be what we call a rehire to come as a solo or as a housing individual, and with solo work campers, we ask you to have somebody with you. And so those are the two differences that come up. So yes, you can be a solo work camper and be in your RV. You know, B, you have to, if you are in a housing situation, we ask you to find somebody to room with you and also work the harvest. Campgrounds. So here is a couple pictures of our beautiful groups that worked last year and stayed in our campgrounds. We make the reservations and pay for the campsite for the duration of harvest. And I know that's huge for work campers because all year long you're booking sites and trying to find out your next place that you're going to go. So Express takes care of that for you. Applicants who sign up later in the season may be placed in campgrounds with some driving time required. So there are sites that you can drive up to 25 miles to that site. We try to get everybody as close as we can and do what we can with the campsites that we're able to get in Michigan, but that is something that could come up. Most of the campgrounds are located in or very near the town with gas or groceries. And so you're able to fuel up, you're able to get your groceries, get everything you need to have a successful season and be prepared close to, 15 to 20 minutes. Some of you would have to go to get the gas and groceries, but they're pretty big sites, pretty big areas with your typical Walmarts and your fast foods and places for you to be able to get what you need. Camp host. Yes, we do hire for camp host, available in some locations. We are still currently looking for some camp host. And so you would fill out your application, go ahead and submit that, talk to the Workamper coordinator. And once you have talked to that individual, they will give the information to myself, and we will talk about what camp host looks like and what we actually have available this year. Honey wagon and water service provided when needed. So some of our sites do not have full hookups. So Express does a phenomenal job, and I will have to say the group in Michigan does a great job tag teaming and working alongside of us. We have a family-owned company that we've worked for. This is going on our 3rd year, that comes around twice a week, and they take care of the honey wagon, going through the site, making sure that your tanks are dumped, and they have been phenomenal to work with. If by chance we come to part of the season where it's just going to get colder than they would like at their campgrounds, and for whatever reason they need to shut off the water, we have a service that we connect with that would be able to help you with that. So while you're camping, those two are major needs that we ask as work campers, and so Express does a great job with fulfilling those needs as well. We understand how important pets are. For many of you work campers, they are part of your family, and we respect that. Please do not abuse the privilege of having your pets with you, and observe the individual campground rules. So when you meet your camp host, they're going to let you know the rules of the campground. We ask that all pets be kept on a leash at all times. Always clean up after your pet. Do not leave your pet tied up and unattended at any time. And never bring your pet to work with you. It is not a safe environment for your pets. So it's just that, be kind. Do as you would want somebody to do for you, and just keep your area and all nice and tidy, and have it all cleaned up, so that way we're all respecting the campground, and we can, use this campground year after year. Full and partial hookups are available. Again, every campsite is different. We use anywhere from a fairground to a local campsite, and so you will be selected to where your rig size is and all the information with your work camper to put you at the best place that will help suit you. Nobody is promised or guaranteed a site. Nobody is promised or guaranteed full hookups. Everybody will have, your electric and water, but this is going to be, depending on what location you're at and where you're staying and what hookups are available. Fall weather. So this time of the year, it can range from 75 degrees down to 30s. And I will let you know personally, Michigan has hit many different levels of temperatures. When I have been there, we have been, you know, full-blown coats, hat, gloves, and ready to go, to long sleeve shirts, just working the harvest, piling beets. So Michigan has, and I call it Mother Nature, has a mind of her own and can choose how weather's going to be. But this just gives you an idea of how to be prepared. When you are prepared, you are successful. So one of the things I tell a lot of people when it comes to weather is to, whatever vehicle you have, make it your closet. So you want to have everything in there, from hoodies, extra gloves. You want to have all that would help you stay warm, and all that, you know, a place that you could put stuff when you need to shed the jacket, because it's a beautiful, you know, 73 degrees in Michigan. So some of us are there from September to November. And so when you're starting to come in October, you can expect it's going to go from a high of 60 to an average of 39. That changes season to season. And again, that's just based off of Mother Nature. If Express could control weather, trust me, it would be beautiful, sunny days. We would not need our coats and gloves, and we would just make it, you know, like we're walking through rose petals instead of sliding on beets. That's what we would do, but reality is weather is different in Michigan. Orientation and training. Orientation is up to a 2-hour process in the district office where you will complete the necessary paperwork and watch a safety film. So once you've worked with your Workamper coordinator and you've been selected to come this year and everything's good, you're going to get that arrival letter. In that arrival letter is also going to be very important information about your orientation. Express prides ourselves with communication. And so on that letter that you get, you will have communication of not only arriving, but your orientation and what you need to bring for orientation, and everything that will help you get started and be successful. Everybody needs to watch the safety film. We watch it every year. It doesn't matter if you've worked it 1 year, 5 year, or this is your first year. It's just something to refresh all of us of one of the most important things, and that is safety while we're on the grounds. Everyone will receive a minimum of 4 hours of paid on-site training. So once you are selected, you will be put on a list and you will have a day of training. That day of training will be out on site, looking at the piler, you know, seeing what your job's going to do, learning about tear taking, learning about a safe way to do the bending and pulling, and all of the different parts of your body that need to move while you're working. Training is a fantastic time to ask questions. If you're new, work with people that have worked there before, and it's just a good time for you to be prepared. Training will depend upon your position. If you are selected to try out for the skid steer position or the telehandler position, you will be given a certain time of training for that. This is very fun. One of the fun things I love is to hear about referrals. I love the program that we're able to extend out to the WorkCamp community. If you have a friend, refer them. You will get $100 per person you refer, as long as you follow these qualifications. So your referrals must be a new associate to Express Employment. Your referrals must complete a required 80 hours of work. The referral must mention your name at the registration to qualify for the referral bonus. So what that means is, if you refer somebody, tell them, please put my name on that piece of paper that's going to ask you about referrals when you come into the office for your orientation. Not working the harvest, can you still refer people and make the $100 per person? Absolutely. Just because maybe you, for whatever circumstance, are not able to come and physically work the harvest, you can still be part of the harvest. You're referring people and bringing people to the harvest is just as important as those that actually are able to come and work the harvest. Make sure that they know your name. Make sure you give that information out, and explain to people the requirements to make sure that they understand how they could be eligible for a referral. So these are some questions that we've gathered over the years, and I will try my best to answer them. So everybody has, I have a motto, it's clear as kind. So we're going to be as clear as we can with you guys. So one of the questions is, what do we do for lunches and breaks? So I want to say most of our sites now in Michigan have little shacks or little sheds that they set up a table, and you're welcome to go in there for your lunch or break. For the majority of the time, you're going to do your lunches and your breaks right there on site at the piler. You're going to bring, I had talked earlier about making your car a closet. You want to also make it a pantry, keep your lunch in there, some snacks in there, and you will take your break on site. You are not allowed leaving the site. Once you arrive and clock in, you need to remain on the site throughout your whole hours of working, but you will have lunch break most likely at your vehicle. How far do I drive to work? So you can drive up to 25 miles to a piling station from wherever you're housed. That is not at all of our sites. We cannot schedule you and put you at sites based off of that. Again, we are here to support Michigan Sugar and their needs, and also working with whatever campgrounds and hotels that we do have in Michigan. Some of the sites do require you to drive a little distance to work. What about grocery stores? You got your Walmarts you're going to be able to go to. One of my favorite things to do when I was a work camper is go to the mom and pop stores. I feel like that's a great way to invest in the community and buy your groceries there. So every site does have a facility that you can go to, and you are able to get your groceries and have everything that you need. Where will I be stationed? Out of the 13 piling sites, that is not a question we can answer today. That will be based off of the need. Our work camper coordinators do a phenomenal job with sorting out, what the need is at all 13 piling sites and placing you at piling sites based off the number that is needed. And so we're very honest and upfront once we know where you're going to be, and we give that information, and we can send that out to you in your letter. But knowing for sure when you do that call where you're going to be stationed, we are unable to do that. Can we be with our friends? We love the work camper community. I was part of the work camper community. I understand the importance of being connected and traveling with each other, and what it does for all of us. When it comes to the beet harvest, we do our best to try to place people where they can be with their friends, but that is definitely something we cannot guarantee. One of the fun facts is there's so many of you that have connected and you have become great friends. We could not house you all in one campground. And so you have spread yourself out, and we're able to get you with your friends, but this is a good time for you to make new friends. This is a good time for you to connect with new individuals and make new memories and connect with individuals you've never worked with, but we cannot guarantee that you would work with your friends. What will I need for clothes and shoes? Again, this is a broad question, and so we just try to give you based off of experience, based off of weather, understanding Michigan at this point. You want your hoodies, you're going to want layers of clothes, you're going to want to be able to move. So let's make sure the warmer those layers are, you can still move. And so I tell people, the Carhartts, you don't have to have them, but they're amazing. Whatever it is for you, and everybody's different. Everybody relates different to temperatures and reacts different, but you do want to be prepared. You want to be prepared with being in elements like we explained, where it's going to be cold, it's going to be wet, it's going to be rainy, it's going to be sunny. There's going to be so many different elements that you will come across. So being prepared. I tell people, do not bring anything that you want to keep after harvest. Some of the stuff you can wash and rewear, but most of the time, go to your local thrift stores, get out the t-shirt that maybe has the stain on it that you don't wear anymore, but for some reason you're keeping it, throw that on and just be prepared. Bring your own gloves. We do supply gloves there in Michigan. Michigan Sugar supplies those with your PPE, but bring your favorite pair of gloves, one that you know is going to keep your hands warm, keep your hands from getting dirty. And you do not have to wear steel-toed boots. That is not a requirement. But I recommend a nice boot, ankle support. If all you have is tennis shoes, understandable, and that's acceptable. But for you to have a pretty successful harvest on your feet for 9 hours, I would start looking for a nice pair of boots that are ankle support. If you buy them brand new, please wear them and get them worn in before you show up at harvest. That's just a little extra information there per somebody who's worked it and had to break in new work boots. What equipment is provided? So that is your PPE. You will be provided a hard hat. You will be provided safety goggles. That is not what you'll be provided. Safety goggles. You will be provided earbuds, so that way if some of the machinery is a little too loud, you're able to put those in. You're going to be given a vest. That vest is going to be a reflective vest that keeps you safe out on the site. Needs to be worn at all times so everybody can see you and recognize who's out there. That we also give the gloves. Those gloves are provided by Michigan. Again, I would look for a pair of gloves that maybe fit your hand and you really feel confident to do the job and also can stay warm. When do I get paid? So harvest is paid every 2 weeks. You're going to be given a calendar that tells you once you're in the office, your paydays, when to expect that payday. All of that information is given to you in your orientation, so there's no questions of when you get paid. We also supply a lot of information in the time sheds that you guys will clock in and out. That information is for you to read and be educated. And we like to do a lot of touch points. So, you know, we're doing this Jobinar today. You're going to apply after today, talk to the Workamper coordinator. She's going to give you lots of information. And then we also supply a lot of information once you're there in Michigan. Let's get social. So we have a phenomenal individual that works with Express. Cody is his name. He takes care of our social media and all the posts that you see. Cody does a great job. We definitely couldn't do all the social media reaching out and touch points that we do without Cody. So he has set up many things for you to stay connected to. You can follow us on social media platforms. We are always updating new and the latest information. We will update stories. We like to put pictures out there. So if you want to be in the know or if you have any questions, Cody does a great job with answering all the questions that he can that come through. Please send us a DM, a personal message, and we will do our best to get all of the information for you to have. But if you want to stay connected and you want to be in the know and not have a fear of missing out, definitely connect to one of these social media sites. All right, Jody, that is a little bit about the Michigan Beet Harvest. And so I don't know if we have any questions out there or anything I can go over again or help everybody be excited to come and join us in Michigan this year.
Yeah, that was fantastic, Crystal. Lots of input there. Just kind of main question just off the top of the bat, how do we apply? I'm ready. Let's go.
Absolutely. So I apologize for that. I did not tell you how to apply, and we know that so many of you are eager to apply. You want to go to MichiganBeetHarvest.com. And once you apply, it's a very small survey, I guess, application for questions, and then we will reach out to you. Our Workamper coordinator will set up a time to, again, educate you with a good 30 to 45-minute phone call. That's going to give you more information in depth. We like to give you all the layers of exactly what to expect when you come to harvest. So please go to MichiganBeetHarvest.com and apply for the harvest this year. And that's a great question. And sorry, I did not mention that ahead of time there, Jody.
That's okay. No worries. No worries. And if folks are coming and maybe they're, 2-person, 3-person teams, does each person need to submit an application on the website?
Yes, every individual that is coming to harvest to work the harvest We like to treat you all as individuals, whether you're all in one RV. We appreciate each and every one of you that are coming to harvest and want you to be in the know and have all the information. So yes, you would each need to get on Michigan Beet Harvest. Even if it's the same rig, you're traveling with the same people, please get on, and there's a space on there that you can put who you're traveling with, so we know to connect you with those individuals. You also will learn that when you are talking to the Workamper coordinator. So yes, please, each individual apply.
Okay, super. All right, well, attendees, everyone, let's give Crystal just a little breather here. Those of you who are live with us and you do have questions, please go ahead and get those typed in now. Again, if you're on a laptop or desktop, you should have that GoToWebinar control panel there on your screen with a chat or questions section that you can click in, type into. If you're on a smartphone or tablet, go to the bottom of your screen, tap on questions, type in what you need to say, and then you can always tap back to the presentation screen after that. But I'll do my best to kind of stay on topic as questions come in. We may jump around a little bit. And again, we are recording this webinar. You know, Crystal just went through about 30 minutes of really good detailed information. So later today, everyone who registered will receive an email with a link to the recording. So that way you can go back and watch it again, or watch it for the first time if you're just joining us a little bit later. So you guys will be getting that in your email inbox later today. And of course, we'll have it shared on all the socials as well from Workamper News. And I'm sure, you know, Cody is also welcome. He'll probably share it through the Michigan Beet Harvest social networks as well. But just from my perspective, you guys, here at Workamper News, I've been working with Express now here the 18 years I've been on the team, and just watching them grow this program has been really exciting. And I know, you know, Crystal already kind of hit on it as well, but they truly understand the Workamper and have adapted this program to match the needs and wants of Workampers. And no, it's not necessarily a glamorous job, but this is one of those opportunities in the work camping community. It's kind of one of those bucket list things. If you feel like you're physically capable of handling the hours on your feet and being outside, it's one of those that, you know, maybe everybody should try once and just see what they think about it. And some folks did it once, will never do it again, but we know there are a lot of work campers that this is something that they look forward to every year when it comes up. It's definitely a cool opportunity, and we're glad that it is available in the work camping community. It's rare to find short-term opportunities. So those of you who are looking for something that's not months long, this is one of those unique opportunities that fulfills that need. So, all right, that gave us some time for folks to get some questions in. So let's dig in here. First up, if you wouldn't mind, Crystal, just hitting on the start dates, please.
Sure. Before I do that, Jody, if I can go back on the applying. So just make sure when you are applying, if you are coming in groups, that everybody applies with a separate email. And so that is one of the ways we also communicate. And it's one of the ways that in the future we set everybody up and get them prepared for harvest. And so when you are applying, even if you're coming in the same rig and traveling with the group, we would like you to have separate email addresses on that application. I really forward with you the best that we can. So sure. Starting, again, Mother Nature has a mind of her own, and she's able to make decisions on whether of however it's going to come. But most of the time in the last 5 years, we're looking to start mid-October. And you're going to run a 30-day harvest. So we're looking at mid-October to mid-November. People ask me, why 30 days if the harvest is an 18 to 21 day working? Due to the possibility of shutdowns, due to the possibility of weather. We want to make sure that we supply our client with the workers that we have been asked to supply them with. We want to also make sure that you earn the money that you are looking to earn and have the experience to the best of our ability to give you. And so that 30-day commitment is just allowing us to do all of that. It takes time to process and harvest the beets, weather permitting, and then once they get to us out on the site, that 18 to 21 days is needed for us to bring all of those beets in. And so if we only had you there for 18 to 21 days and if we only had 21 days and we had a couple not be able to complete facility that we would need to complete harvest. So you're looking at mid-October to mid-November. Once we get a little closer and they give us a final start date, we do bring you in and you are prepared mid-October, so that way when harvest does start, whether it's the 20th, the 21st, those are kind of our days, you're already there and you are prepared to start the harvest.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. And I think you basically answered this question already in what you just said, but just to be real specific here, is there a possibility for any flexible scheduling if things come up, if folks need to come late or leave early, or if there's some kind of engagement in the middle of this, short time period? Is there any flexibility there?
Yes, there is flexibility for late arrival. So if you are at let's just say a summer job and you are working that summer job and it's going to be 2 or 3 days later by the time you come, we do accept late arrivals. You will work with your Workamper coordinator so that way we know who's coming late and go ahead and have an idea that you'll be there maybe a day or two up to the first week you might just be coming a little late. So communication is key. So if do not keep that from you not coming. Just make sure that you communicate with your Workamper coordinator that, hey, I might be a little, a couple days past the date that you're asking me to be there. How does that work and how does that look for me?
Okay, awesome. Very cool. Alrighty. And what is the cutoff date for applying for the 2025 season?
We do not have a cutoff date. You can keep applying all the way up to, through harvest, October. We've had people that just didn't think it was gonna, be something they could do, and they was able to apply in October and came and worked the harvest. So we do not like to put a cutoff date. Again, if there's no work, then you might have to apply for the next season. But we at Express, we like to welcome you all the way up to harvest.
Sure. Okay. And thinking forward, as some folks listening to this, may still just be planning for future work camping adventures, when would you guys start accepting applications for 2026?
On our website, when you go to MichiganBeetHarvest.com, if you are not able to come in 2025, we have the application for 2026 on there. And
Cool.
so you can go ahead and fill out that information as well.
Awesome. All right. Very cool. Yeah, lots of work campers like to plan ahead. So again, that's Express, just being flexible to the needs of the work camper.
Yes. And when applying, the earlier you apply and get your application in so we can go over the checklist calls and get you scheduled, that will guarantee that we, have you there and there's work for you to do. So I definitely stress, and our team stresses, that you get on and apply as early as you can.
Okay, very cool. All right, Crystal, if it's possible, would you mind backing up to the slide where you showed the piling locations in that cool little map of Michigan? We had one person asking just in general where the piling sites are. Cool.
There you go. So again, our offices are in Bay City. You'll see there in red, Sebring and Sandusky. And then all of the blue dots are where the piling sites are located. So Bay City, Sebring, and Caro, and Croswell, sorry, I forgot that one down there, they are our factory sites. So that is Michigan Sugar factory sites. And then the blue circle are the piling stations.
Okay, so the yellow star, that you said that's your guys' office, so that's where they would go for the orientation and the safety video?
That's going to be, we have 3 offices. So we have an office set up there in Bay City.
Okay.
We have an office set up in Sebring, and we have an office in Sandusky. So we break down by district. So in Michigan, you've got your west, your central, and your east districts. And so wherever the work camper coordinator is placing you and whatever piling site you're going to be working at, you will go to that office when you get that arrival letter, and you will know what district you're working in. But there's actually 3 districts amongst these 13 piling sites that we staff for.
Wow. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, that's good. So even less moving around for the work camper once they're in the area. That's
Correct.
Great. Yeah. Okay, super. All right, some more questions here. One person is asking, how do they get more information about the camp host role?
So what you would want to do is go ahead and apply at MichiganBeetHarvest.com. Once you get the information and have the phone call with your work camper coordinator, she's going to go over and her name is Heidi. That is who's going to be calling you from Michigan. Go over all of the information with you and explain the harvest. And then I would be given that information from her if you're interested in being a camp host. A lot of people say, why do I need to know all of this information? If you're a camp host, knowledge is power, so you're able to understand the harvest a little bit better, because people are going to just assume that and ask you questions. So we like to do the whole checklist call with you so you're prepared. So you would just tell Heidi, I'm interested in being a camp host, and she would send that information. And we currently have some interviews going on with that. And those positions are not guaranteed, and we fill them very quickly. So if you are interested, please get on and apply and have that conversation with Heidi.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys have more openings in the piler operator and tear taker positions, right? That's the majority.
Our main role. Yeah, that is our main position that we do hire for.
Yeah, super. Okay. And is the pay rate the same between the few different positions that we've been talking about?
The piler operator and tear taker, that is one, that is the pay rate that everybody gets across the board. If you are selected for the special equipment from Michigan Sugar, there is a slight pay raise in that. And if you are, we also have harvest leaders. And so that's something that we can talk about that I did not talk about. One of the positions that we are hiring for is harvest leaders. So if you have management positions or management experience and you would like to fulfill that role and get more information, again, we're going to start with Heidi. Heidi's going to do that checklist call, get your resume, take some information, and send that over to myself. And so each of those levels do have a difference in pay, and all that is explained when you're on the checklist call with Heidi, going over the qualifications and what we need for that.
Okay, super. We've had a couple folks asking if the campground host position is a paid position.
It is. It is a weekly paid position.
Okay, super. All right, but again, you guys, most of the positions are going to be in that piler operator, tear taker role.
Correct.
We just still want to make sure we're focusing on that. Okay.
Yes, that is our main. Again, we do not guarantee and we do not hire by guaranteeing any of the other extended positions. Those are just positions that Michigan Sugar has asked us to look for great work campers to fulfill, but we only guarantee the hiring of the piler operator and the tear taker.
Sure. Okay. All right. And one more question about different roles here. One person says they saw something online about working in an office.
We do. We've applied or put an ad out there. I think Cody did. We are looking for a couple people to fill the role of a harvest supervisor in office. That job and those dates, just for those of you that are interested in applying for, would be August through November. So you're there a little earlier because we open the offices to the local community. But again, that would be something where you would just apply through with Heidi, have that conversation, and she would send your information over to me.
Okay, perfect. All right, and one more question popped in here. Are there any need for truck drivers?
There's always a need. That's just unfortunately not something that Express hires. We are pretty busy hiring for the piling grounds. And so I would look, if you're looking to be a truck driver in Michigan for the harvest, maybe look at their local news, their local ads, some Facebook pages, and try to find resources for that. But that is not something at this time that Express does handle.
Yep, understandable. And one thing that I've seen here at workamper.com, some of the sugar beet farmers themselves will put out help wanted ads to work campers, and typically those positions are truck driving positions. Sometimes CDLs are needed, sometimes not. It kind of depends. So looking at the farmers themselves, they may be the ones offering some opportunities too. So there are positions out there, but not through Express.
Correct.
Cool. Okay.
Maybe one day, but that's just not the need that we have now.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. A lot more clientele would be added if you started working with all the farmers too. Lots more work. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. A couple questions here regarding the paycheck. What is taken out on the paycheck? Okay, these are W-2 positions, correct? They're W-2 employees?
That is correct.
Sure. So you guys take out the typical W-2 employee stuff, taxes and FICA and all those kinds of fun things.
Yeah, I definitely am not a tax expert by any means. And so that's why we definitely have you during your onboarding process fill out your tax information, because everybody's different. Everybody's on different levels of what's being taken out and, coming from all different states. And that is out of my wheelhouse. So you will be given the paperwork to fill out how, the dependents and all the taxes and have everything the way that you specifically need it, or the way that it needs to go for you to have those taxes taken out.
Okay, perfect. And do you know if because you guys are providing the RV site to the work campers, do you know if the value of the RV site is added as income to the work camper?
No, that is just a bonus, I would like to say. You're able to come and make some money, and the bonus is you do not have to pay for your housing for those 30 days, if not longer, when you're in special, if you're a harvest leader. But that is something that Express takes care of. You don't even have to deal with that. There's no extra in that. It's just a bonus for you to be able to come and work and not have to pay that fee.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, perfect. Let's see. How early can the work campers arrive? How long can they stay after harvest?
All right, that's a great question. So when you're working with your work camper coordinator, you're going to be given a arrival letter. It is very important, especially being the project manager in Michigan, understanding that a lot of folks are still doing their camping. They're still locally using the campsites. It is very important to follow that letter. It's very important to follow those dates that we have booked for you. We have made arrangements with each campsite to when you're coming in, who's coming in. We've paid for those sites. And so you would need to follow that letter that is given to you for arrival. As far as after harvest is done and after we have, finished up harvest, we give you 72 hours to actually get some rest, pack up your rig, maybe do some laundry and be able to head off the campsite.
Sure. Okay. And so if work campers would want to arrive earlier or arrive later, that would be something they would need to arrange with that individual campground. And then you as the work camper would be paying for the campsite for the time that you're staying before or after the agreement that you've made with Express.
Yes, and I actually made a mistake. It's 48 hours. It is not 72. So I want to correct that. It's 48 hours after you have completed and been released from your assignment. So apologize for that mistake. But it still gives you, 48 hours to get everything in order. If you want to come early, that would be something you individually would have to make arrangements. Please, this is something that has come up, so I'm just going to discuss it. So knowledge is power. if by chance you are at, let's just say, site 13, and you've paid early and you showed up to Michigan to do some sightseeing a couple weeks early, and we do not have site 13 as one of the sites we have booked and reserved, there would be a possibility of you moving your campsite to the site that has actually been reserved by Express. So they might only have an opening for you when you come early, but once, you know, we have booked those sites, there is a possibility that you might have to move into that site that we have booked for you.
Absolutely understandable. Okay, very good point, Crystal. Yep, good thought, because some folks, when they set up, they set up.
Correct.
So.
And I understand it. I understand. I just want to be clear.
Absolutely. Yep. Packing up to move a couple sites down is annoying sometimes, but it's got to be done. Yep. Okay.
And as a work camper, we should be used to that by now. So
Right.
we're used to packing up and moving.
Cool. All right. In thinking about RV types, are there any limitations, you know, in types of RV, age of RV, setups of RV? Vans are they okay? Tents are okay? What are the rules there?
All right. Well, I will start with, and we'll end on a good note. So I'll start with the bad note. Tents are not available to be used in Michigan due to the weather. I understand, I respect completely the work camp community that travels in their vehicle and uses their tents and sets up outside. I get it. We understand it with the Express. We 100% celebrate everybody and how they travel as a work camper. For Michigan, it's just your safety. And there are temperatures that get pretty cold, and Express does not want you out there and you know, in those elements. And so we cannot allow tents. As far as your vehicles and the different vehicles that you have, when you do that checklist with Heidi, she's going to go over all the qualifications. So I would not say it's an age. We do not discriminate on age. We just have a list. So we try to tell people Class C. So you're going to need to be able in your RV to have running water. And there's, you know, a cooking surface. There's quite a few things that your work camper coordinator will go over with you. But as far as age, no, we do not have a restriction on your age of your RV. We do have a lot of work campers that are in vans. We have a lot of people that have, you know, done a wonderful job setting up their vans and their schoolies, and we celebrate all the walks of life of travel. We just do, when you go, when you have that conversation with Heidi, she will go over all of the stipulations that we have to have for everyone to be safe and have a successful harvest.
Yeah, absolutely. Do many of the campgrounds have shower houses, bath houses available?
Yes, quite a few of our campgrounds do have the shower houses available. That's one of the jobs that the camp host will take care of and clean and keep ready for all the workers that are there. But yes, I want to say most of the campgrounds that we do have a shower house in them.
Okay, super. And something to think of too, you know, folks who are, you know, their motorhome is their only vehicle. Maybe they're not, you know, towing anything extra. Just based on, you know, your experience being there, Crystal, there's quite a bit of opportunity for like carpooling with your fellow work campers and things like that. So maybe folks, even if, you know, their vehicle is their home on wheels, they don't necessarily have to be driving that to the work site every day, right?
Right. We can't guarantee it, of course. That's just something we
That's all community based. Yeah.
Absolutely. But common knowledge, the work camper community, we seem to work together. You know, I have seen it over the last 5 years of people carpooling. You know, maybe it's different shifts, so they're sharing, and all the people on first shift are going, and the second shift is bringing the vehicle later. So there's so many situations that do happen. It is nice and it is really good to have it because we do not like you walking onto the piling ground. Plus, that's where you're going to have a break. That's where you're going to, you know, have your lunch. And so as far as carpooling, as far as that communication, again, work campers do a great job with that. We just can't guarantee that that would be a possibility.
For sure. For sure. Yep. Yep. Totally something to, when you get to your campground, just go start making friends.
That's it.
That's right. All right. In thinking about folks who are traveling as a family, like maybe two adults are together and they have some kiddos that would need constant supervision. Is it possible for both adults to still work and maybe have some alternating shifts, or that wouldn't work because it's kind of an all hands on deck situation there, so.
Right. We do have couples that do work different shifts. We have, where one works first shift, one works second shift. Again, I probably say this so much, people get tired of hearing me say it, but just communication is key. And so if that is part of your scenario and you do have kids and, we do not allow children on the piling grounds. And so you might have to, talk to your ag staff, talk to your Workamper coordinator and explain that you might have to work those different shifts and be, on a schedule that is 5 or 10 minutes in passing. That has happened a lot. And what's nice is if you're doing that with somebody, they're still out there working. And so you don't want to get off your shift and just be hanging around waiting for that person that's coming, on the next shift. You're going to continue to work. And then once your individual clocks in, it's a really easy switch on and off for you to be able to then start your shift in the individual that you're with, so the kids can be taken care of. Again, that's something that, we're being honest and not sugarcoating anything about it. You would need to work out. We do not work out transportation. Express does not work out shifts. There are several couples that do that, but they work it out. Maybe they have an older teen that I've seen older teens stay with the kids. I've seen someone in the campground that says, I've got the kids while everybody switches shifts. So again, it's just making that team effort to communicate with each other and walk around the campground and find out, how you can better serve your friends that are at the campground or different people, and how you could also benefit from some of the ways they can help you.
Yeah, for sure. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, and folks who have maybe kiddos who are teenagers or, close to maybe 20 years of age, would they have the possibility of working the harvest as well? Is there a minimum age?
We want to start at the age of 18. So anybody 18 or over that has all the necessary paperwork and gets on and fills out that application, and they need to be 18 by the time that the harvest starts. So I've had a couple people show up. Their children were 17, and 2 days before harvest, they turned 18, came into the office and applied for the job and was able to work. So cool. We cannot put you to work and give you all the information until you're 18, but absolutely, we will take, so if you're 17 and you're showing up there in October, just hold on, and your birthday comes, we will definitely hire you for the harvest.
Okay, very cool. And if folks are traveling with maybe 2 or more adults, but only one of the adults wants to work the harvest, is that okay?
That is okay at our campgrounds. We have no problem with that. That is your house on wheels and you're traveling through. When it comes to the hotel, we do have double occupancy in the hotel, and both individuals need to be working. So we do not allow children, pets, or anybody that is not working to stay in our housing.
Sure. Okay, makes sense. All right, question here. How would Workampers get medications while they're there?
That would be something that would fall on you as individuals to set up at the local post office. We do not guarantee any postal service at the campsites. I would highly recommend that once you know what area you're going to be in and you talk to your Workamper coordinator, getting on, finding out with the local postal office and whoever needs to send you packages, where that needs to go and how that process needs to work for general delivery.
Sure. And would you say in sort of the general area of the piling sites, you talked about you're pretty close to some towns and cities and stuff, but so there wouldn't be, the Walmarts, the Walgreens, the CVS's, like those would be within a reasonable driving distance?
Absolutely, Jody.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, not super remote wilderness positions here, y'all. Don't worry. Okay, and this one, Crystal, you may or may not have some details on this one, but folks are wondering if you could explain some of the differences between the unbeatable experience, which is the sugar beet harvest taking place in North Dakota and Minnesota, versus the Michigan beet harvest.
Absolutely. I tell people we love both harvests. As most of you know, they are clients of Express. And so you're going to have a couple differences. The dates are going to be different. And so at the Unbeatable Experience, that's going to be an early arrival than the season that we have in Michigan. I tell people it's easier to tell you what's the same, and that's we pile beets. And so a lot of differences because we're dealing with two different clients. And so it's not Express, and this is a good time for clarification of that. It's not, you know, Express has these standards and this is what we roll out, and it's the same across the board. We have several clients that we work with, and just so happens we have two sugar beet clients that we work for. So it's going to be a different time. The pay is going to be different. The way that state pay is handled is going to be different. There are definitely some differences. So wherever your location is to travel, that's what I tell people, to make the choice, because there's good and bad in everything. And so I can't tell you which harvest is, you know, better over the other. I will say that Express does a phenomenal job to serve both of our clients and make it a great experience for both of our clients. But look at where you're traveling, and I always tell people, you know, we want you to work, we want you to be successful and have a great experience at the harvest. So gauge where you're working, but it's going to be a lot of differences, and that's just going to be explained to you when you apply, whatever harvest you do apply. But yeah, we pile beets. We definitely do that, and we do that in weather that is cold, windy, rain, sunny. Those would be the same unique things that happen at both harvests.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, just like we're doing this with the Michigan beet harvest, in the next week, we're going to do this Jobinar style event for the Unbeatable Experience for the those other states that are involved. So if you guys just follow along with Express, follow along with Workamper News, you'll be sure to have information on both harvests. So like Crystal said, decide which location you want to explore first and give that one a whirl. Crystal, if you wouldn't mind going back to your slide that has your phone number on there. I think it was one of the last slides. I just want to make sure folks have that available to them. So MichiganBeetHarvest.com is the website. And then the phone number here is on the screen, 888-791-6738. If you guys have, you know, some questions that maybe didn't get covered in the webinar today, or you have some questions about the application process or something, I'm sure, you know, everyone I've always talked to at Express has been just very pleasant to deal with. So I imagine you would get the same experience. All right, attendees, last call for questions. Crystal, you've done an awesome job. You've answered everybody's questions so far. We got those all covered, and a few extra that I had written down, so extra stars on that. But Crystal, is there anything else you can think of that's come to mind, or anything else you want to cover today?
I would just say, you know, in our Workamper community, one of the things I try to always just drop a little nugget is, you know, these opportunities that are given to us to be able to travel, and for whatever reason that we've decided to live differently. And I say we because I used to be a Workamper and traveled all over, and this was one of my first jobs as a Workamper. Just understand that if what you put into it is what you take out of it. And so if you come into this job and you give your all and you have a good attitude and you're there to learn, you're there to leave a good example of the Workamper community, you know, you're going to have your days that, like I said, are just better than other, and the weather is going to be great. And there's going to be days you're questioning why you're standing in the cold, you know, surrounded by beets, because that's never what you've envisioned in your life. We can, you know, really take this opportunity to grow as a Workamper community and make it positive and that will trickle to other companies. And I'm a firm believer that that will be what opens other companies to see the Workamper community and see what we do and how we show up, and we're positive, and we're not looking for perfection, but we're just giving our all as a community so we can continue to travel and do what we do. So, you know, just a little nugget to drop that in your mind. No job is perfect, no matter if it's a 9-to-5 desk job or if it's piling beets or, you know, picking the beets in the field. Whatever job comes with challenges, but it is truly what we make it. So I look forward to meeting new individuals. I love reconnecting with the rehires that come every year. I'm very passionate about this Workamper job, and I feel like the more we put into it, being positive, the better outcome it's going to be for everybody.
Amen. Perfect. Perfect sentiments, and absolutely the right attitude to have. Thank you so much for sharing that, Crystal. That was really great and absolutely true. We really appreciate you. We appreciate the team at Express Employment Professionals for having these cool opportunities for work campers, and for you guys to make the extra effort to share all of the awesome details that you shared today. So that way work campers can make the best decision for them on if this is going to be, you know, an opportunity that's right for them or not, because it won't be for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've covered all our questions here. Attendees, you'll get that recording to your email inbox. And again, please feel free to share that around. And Crystal, we wish you the best with the 2025 harvest, and hopefully a lot of great work campers come your way.
Thank you, Jody. I appreciate it. And again, thank you to everybody who tuned in and who will tune in later. We look forward to seeing those applications coming in and having a successful harvest.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. And we wish you all happy work camping.